Hello everyone, I am Sacred and thank you for joining me in another mod spotlight in Hearts of Iron 4. Today we are going to take a look to this mod is fairly old, it came out on the 22nd of February, but a major update has been made yesterday, on the 7th of April at 1:43 AM my time. So, thank you all for joining me. This mod we are gonna review is called Hearts of Augmentation. Hearts of Augmentation. And before I continue, to everyone who wants to support me, feel free to do so. We are getting my Patreon. Link to my Patreon is down below in the description. Thank you. Then let's get straight into the map. So we can see already that most of the leaders have custom flags. So probably this mod is gonna get banned in Germany. Custom flags and custom portraits, which is quite nice because they have more realistic portraits, most of them at least. Let's see here, that's the same, but Stalin looks different, Hirohito looks different, Benito looks different, and the good old Adolf looks different as well. Let's take a look to the map. So this mod is quite a good overhaul. Let's read out the mod description. Hearts of Augmentation is a mod that aims fully to augment the game, improving historical accuracy and adding new alternate historical paths to explore. Quick warning, this mod contains imagery some players may find offensive. Together for Victory is strongly recommended, however most of the mods should work fine without it. And Britain now has a brand new focus tree in which you can take the country on 4 paths. The historical path of appeasement, the boring one, a path of direct interventionism with repersuade vanilla focuses moved around to more logical locations. The path of fascism, in which you can attempt to recreate the lost glory of the empire. The path of communism, in which you can either attempt to complete the global revolution or fully embrace socialism in one country. In addition, the non-aligned ideology has been replaced with paternal autocracy, which can do most things that the other ideologies can do. Most countries will be periodically updated with more appropriate names and flags. Right now only Turkey and Germany have been updated. This isn't the end for the mod. Work on the Polish and the German focus tree has begun and you can check all the first progress updates here. Thank you all for your support thus far. P.S. We are aware that some leaders of the new countries weren't actually born until mid-game. Hours of air hunting turned up no one else. Acknowledgements. Improved Conquest flavor by the Pink Panzer. Flickering flags by Chairman Mayo. Alright, that's a link to the mod will be as always included down below in the description. So, the main focus has been set on the United Kingdom, but before, let's take a look to the German Reich and the Republic of Turkey. What changed? Well, you can see that most of the countries' names changed, like Poland isn't called Poland anymore, it's called the Commonwealth of Poland. Same goes for Austria, it's called the Federal State of Austria, and Yugoslavia is called the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, and Southern of Bulgaria, and Kingdom of Greece, and Kingdom of Italy, and Republic of Turkey, and what else do we have? Shahdam of Afghanistan, then Republic of China. So all the names changed, certainly. The French Republic, the Portuguese Republic, the Irish Free State, the Kingdom of Belgium, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Kingdom of Norway, the Kingdom of Sweden, then the Kingdom of Denmark, this state, the United States of Brazil, the Argentine Republic, and then the plurinational state Bolivia, and many other countries have been renamed as well. For example, the Dominion of Australia or the Dominion of New Zealand, which they were called only Australia and New Zealand, but they have been renamed thus far, therefore making it great. So let's get looking with the Republic of Turkey, what changed there. Yeah, we're gonna start normal otherwise. Well, Turkey's ideological system has been changed massively. Turkey starts actually off as a democracy, which makes sense since Turkey was democratic back then. It's led by the Cumhuriyet Halk Partisi under Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Then the new party is the Selameti Osmaniye, which is paternal autocratic. So this mod changed, like non-aligned doesn't exist anymore. It's called paternal autocratic, which actually makes sense for me. It's called paternal autocratic, led by Abdulmejid II. Yeah, and it has a popularity of 31%, but the JHP is currently leading the country. So Turkey starts off democratic, which will most likely mean they will not join the Axis. Well, I had the problem in the base game that Turkey mostly joined the Axis, which was not really historical, since they joined the Allies at the end of the war. So let's take a look to Germany. Then, well, there's a new party called DNVP, the Deutsche Nationale Volkspartei, led by Wilhelm II. Paternal autocratic as well, but let's actually see what happens. I'm gonna use this fancy command here to get actually that. There we go. Now we got paternal autocratic, and now you can see Wilhelm II. It's a despotist government. Wilhelm II, the DNVP, Deutsche Nationale Volkspartei. Yeah, and the country's name should be changed as well if we play the game for one day. It's called German Empire now, so it changed there. Let's see what Turkey will be called if we change to the what's it called, Selameti Osmaniye. Turkey is going to be called probably Ottoman Empire then. It's led by Abdülmecid II. It's called still the Republic of Turkey. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it should be called the Ottoman Empire. Perhaps that will come. So you can well become imperial as Germany. So you can actually become paternal autocratic, which would be quite interesting. So to reach the maximum of this mod, I am well, firstly going to present the new focus tree. Present the new focus tree of the United Kingdom, which looks same up to here, but this path is completely modified. This path is completely modified, as well as this path here. This path is completely new. Completely new. We're going to take a look this one. Probably I'm gonna take a look to the communist one, since that simply seems to be, well, better modified. I mean, you could get restore imperial order actually. Oh yeah, so it would mean that, which I like, is that actually if you would decide to become communist or fascists, that your puppets would also become either communist or fascist. Yeah, we are gonna, well, try to rush down the fascist and the communist focus tree, so I'm gonna try to do both as quick as possible to get to the maximum spotlight. But before we do so, we are gonna turn Germany paternal autocratic, because just to see, let's turn Germany paternal autocratic and then see how the German politics will be. Yeah, in order to see actually if, well, the fascist countries shouldn't join the German Reich. Then let's see. I'm gonna apply as the UK, of course, on regular and historical, let's say unhistorical air focuses as the German Reich. Historical, unhistorical, yeah. Well, if we play unhistorical as the UK, the thing is mostly that the countries decide to leave the British Empire, which is sad, but we are gonna, well, conquer them if they decide to do so, surely, yeah. Establishing direct rule. So, firstly, let's get the non-aligned, the paternal autocrat party to rule Germany, and we have to get them higher popularity. So this can be done with following command, which I well found out from a subscriber. So it is add party popularity, the ideology group, and then the value. Let's give them 100%. Now it's 100% led by the DNVP, and now it's clearly paternal autocratic Germany. So it became German Empire. Turkey shall stay democratic, I would say. Yeah, it shall stay democratic because, well, it hasn't been democratic in the game. So let's let that stay there. Turkey, Republic of Turkey. Well, Turkey has actually claims on the Greek. No, don't. But the Greek have claims on Turkey. Yeah, that's why the Turks are really in favor against the Greek. They got a claim, but not a core. Yeah, well, they got Istanbul as a core state, which shouldn't make sense since most of the people there are not the Greek. Never had been. So, Republic of Turkey, and now it's the German Reich. Well, it would be interesting to see, if I were to be honest, if Turkey would join the well, allies or whatever. Let's see. Let's not change Turkish politics. Let's get back to Britain. So attack England, and there we go. We're playing the United Kingdom now. So that's fine. Let's take a look to the focus tree. Then the reinforcement of the empire. The changed path is the right one here. So we can choose between supporting the status quo or extremist politics. Well, I will do parliamentary reforms. The parliamentary system is outdated. In order to keep up with the changing global landscape, we must reform our parliamentary system. Let's do so. As always, I'm playing with the extended research modification there. Engineering, there we go. Oh, we got nice radio direction finding as well. Let's read. Let's get the SRT, there we go. Factory-wise, I'm just gonna, build, civilian factories in our well-developed provinces, which most of the, most of these provinces here. So this should occupy our factory for quite a time. Let's maximize out our shipbuilding. Fine, let's... I don't care. Currently, we need more oil. Let's get it from the Soviets. Military-wise, I wanna get a good amount of planes. Let's get 3 planes. Good amount of let's get weapons and sport equipment as well as artillery. Artillery, more importantly than the other ones. There we go. 3 of that, 3 of that. Then in the future, more for this kind of equipment. There we go. Alright, so now we should be good to go on the high speed to rush through. So first we will rush through the fascist path of the United Kingdom. First we will rush through the fascist path of the UK. So parliamentary reforms and then to the British Union of Fascists. Well, there's also a paternal autocratic party led by Wallace Williams, but well, that doesn't make any sense, therefore we are not gonna go the paternal autocratic path. Germany is completely paternal autocratic. That's a nice thing, isn't it? So they shouldn't rally up with the Italians, I think. Although they are still in the Axis, so Italians might join them or they might not. We shall see what will happen. Both are, how you can see, clearly paternal autocratic. Poland and Germany, so they may become friends. That's yet to see. That's to see. And our allies, the UK and Australia, they are currently still, we'll issue an rectification there. Next thing will be the extremist policies. Extremist policies will give us a national spirit authoritarianism, which grants daily democracy support minus 0.1%, acceptance of democratic diplomacy minus 100. The world is quickly changing. We, the British people, must adapt to these changes. It is necessary to make changes to the British political landscape in order to adapt to the changing world landscape. So, we will adapt to the changing world landscape. That's for sure. Let's see how the paternal autocratic German Empire will succeed in their intentions. If it will be historical or not, that's yet to see. Yeah. Germany has Alsace-Lorraine as a core state, so that's interesting. And also, well, Italy is, goodbye Ethiopia for Italy. And there we go. Extremist policies, and next on the line will be the right-wing rhetoric. Right-wing rhetoric? If our empire is to be maintained, then we must ensure that our nation is mobilized and ready to meet the challenges posed by our neighbors. We'll get fascist influence and, well, the Soviets won't like us, neither will the Germans, but since they aren't fascist, So we see that the German became imperial again and actually not fascist, so that's rather interesting to see. Research-wise, let's go ahead. Don't forget the research, it's really important for the British efforts. And the next thing will be Battle Lamp Doctrine, the Grand Battle Plan. We have 3 dockyards, so let's get some British destroyers. So we finished the right-wing rhetoric. That's right, the right-wing rhetoric has been finished. Let's deploy them first in the London area. Next thing will be... Okay, the Battle of the Cable has to happen in order to become fascist. Therefore, I will speed up the progress and actually get a fascist advisor as well. Fascist demagogue. There we go. Demagogue. Well, then let's focus on the normal focus 3. Let's go for a limited rearmament for more factories. Giant games of the Olympiad. Secondly, I wish to get here. We had power and politics for more power. That's always interesting to have and effective. Technology-wise, let's go ahead and get to the basic weapons here. So, world politics. The UK, I think, well, a Patel autocratic DNVP seized the German country and is leading the Exert faction. Therefore, it most likely these Japanese and Italians will not join the Axis, but that's yet to see. It's yet to see. So they may join their own, they may create their own faction, or they may not. So Special Research Division. There we go. Let's get the army focus. Oh, now what happened? The British Union of Fascists marches on the Cable Street. The British Union of Fascists, under the command of Oswald Mosley, are beginning a large parade through East London. While the march has been allowed to take place by local authorities, a large counter-force has been organized by the Independent Labour Party and various other communist and anti-fascist groups, erecting a makeshift blockade on Cable Street. Rid the streets of the unwashed rebel, change popularity in fascist 10%. There we go, that's what we want. And now we should be able to actually get hurrah for the black shirts. So, the Battle of Cable Street. Scenes of violence and brutality were witnessed on Cable Street in London today, when a parade organized by the British Union of Fascists clashed with an Independent Labour Party counter-protest. The Metropolitan Police made a consolidated effort to forcefully destroy the communist blockade, arresting countless protesters and making way for the parade to advance as planned. The British public has congratulated the fascists on their steadfast approach to the unlawful blockade, hailing fascism as a force for order and justice. We cannot tolerate the Bolsheviks rebels on our streets. There we go, 31% already. Now hooray for the black shirts. Oswald Mosley's black shirts are a shining beacon of the British youth, displaying nothing but discipline, loyalty and integrity. It is only fair and common sense that we give them a voice in government. A fact gets joined back at which grants fascist demagogue daily fascism spot plus 0.1%. There we go. So we make a fascist well quite fast. Yeah, reinforce the Irish border, restore imperial order. I would say let's go for the restoration of the imperial border. Yeah, as soon as possible. So King Edward abdicates. So there we go. The fascists are 35% already. We are hurraying the black shirts in the British nation. Meanwhile, hooray for the black shirts. Now reinforce the Irish border is the only thing we can do. So reinforce the Irish border. So, for too long, we have allowed dissident Republican movements in Northern Ireland to freely undermine the Union and march on our streets. We must take action and restore order to the region once and for all. In fact, war tension is increased by 0.5. Irish Free State gains client our territory opinion of the United Kingdom. Northern Ireland and 2 land forts. Okay, in total we get 6 land forts on the Irish border, which really should not be necessary, since I doubt the Irish army is strong. Yeah, wow, 1 division. We need to protect ourselves against 1 Irish division. Wow, that's not that much, is it? Not really. Otherwise, let's continue the reinforcement of the Irish border. Britain reinforces Irish border. Let's select. Oh, I clicked the Y. Oh no. So we can go. Well, we can't go for this one. So let's go for the reinforce the empire. Reinforce the empire. Let's get actually victory through air power. Let's get a military grand battle plan experts. Yeah, there we go. So, well, we have a good stockpile of equipment right now. At least everything is reinforced, so that's a good thing. We're gonna get prepared defense. Unassigned divisions, yeah, I know. Our army is currently 264,000 men strong. Alright, let's see if the French Republic is, well, they're supporting the status quo. Although the communists have a really high popularity within the French nation. And the Spanish Civil War has started. Well, I am sure the fascists will win nevertheless. I don't care, to be honest, who's gonna win, because, well, fascists maybe reinforce the empire. So empire has been reinforced. We can't go for this yet, sadly. So let's go ahead and get the service overseas. Spanish state against the Spanish Republic. The Spanish state will control the majority of the industry in Spain, therefore it should grant them the edge in the battle. It should, I think. Let's see if it actually will. Fascists form assault divisions. Oh, and it resigned. Now the fascists are actually in majority of the in the country. They have more than 50% already, which should mean soon that we should get, well, led by fascists. And the fascists demand referendum. If the people want it, we'll hold the referendum, and the British Empire has been proclaimed. The British Empire has been proclaimed. The dawn of the British Empire. We will directly go for the restoration of the imperial order. Okay, so either Edward VIII can become the leader of the fascist party or not. Let's say Edward VIII. Yeah, let's say Edward VIII. Come on. Or we'll not interfere. Edward VIII is running the empire. There we go. Led by Edward VIII. I think that's an event which every empire, which the British nation becomes when it becomes fascist. But, well, I didn't know that Edward VIII actually had been fascist. Well, that's interesting to see. Well, now Britain is under direct imperial rule, which is, well, interesting to say the least. We're gonna go for partial mobilization, of course, within our empire and with the restoration of imperial order. The Irish Free State shouldn't be a problem to, well, conquer at all. Not at all. Well, we're still, well, we're getting the British Army reborn, but I think, well, only some divisions. So let's see, we have 19 divisions here. Well, only 5 should be enough already to conquer the Irish, but let's get the entirety of our divisions to land in Belfast. Restore imperial order. Yeah, there we go. Well, oh, actually, what did it matter? The various governments across the Commonwealth still hold on to their decadent ways. We must consolidate our power over the realms, beginning with installing friendly ministers. Dominion of Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, and one others. Oh, actually, the Centre Party could become the ruling party. Public elections will not be held. BU of influence, reign of terror, fascist influence. So that's really interesting. We could even climb the east coast of the United States. That's interesting. We could go to war with the USA. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and reclaim the Republic. So reclaim the Republic. The very existence of the Irish Republic is an affront to the Union and all that it stands for. It is our duty to reclaim the island and restore order, for it is rightfully British territory. That's quite interesting. Yeah, 19 divisions massing across the border under Field Marshal Aaron Broke, readying themselves for the Irish War. There we go. And Japan declared war on the Republic of China. Well. Japanese. This bloodthirsty Japan. Damn it. Let's go ahead and improve our artillery. There we go. So, after we, we gain a claim, we can actually get a claim on Britain. We can go to war against France, the Anglo-German alliance, or claims on the North Sea, war with Denmark, German research treaty. The Union, or what? So Ireland submits to British demands, and we did just annex Ireland. So we just annexed Ireland. Well, that's really nice. Well, so that's the fascist part of the British Empire. Actually, the Centre Party. So they're actually all fascists. Yeah. So our Dominion vassals become fascist, and the British Raj probably as well. They are still paternal autocratic, which, well, makes sense. Alright, so that's the fascist part of Britain, which is really interesting to say the least. I will save the path here, and before we run out of time, I will go ahead and review the Conquest path of the United Kingdom. Path. Well, since today we can call it a Day of Britain, because I uploaded, well, reviews of Britain. well, not reviews, spotlights of British mods, of mainly British-based mods. So that's perhaps in favor of my British viewers, is it? So let's go ahead and get the parliamentary reforms first. Research just to rush through the thingy. Rush through, let's start playing already, we have no time to waste, just build factories here. There we go, maximize it out. Factories get this, some artillery, and there we go. Except of that, I also wanna see more infantry equipment soon. Then let's maximize out our naval production. Our may he rest in peace truly. So research, let's not forget the research, and this. So, parliamentary reforms. The parliamentary system is outdated. In order to keep up with the changing global landscape, we must reform our parliamentary system. There we go. We must get some oil as well. So, if you like this mod, if you would like to see me playing, my schedule is free for the coming days. So I should be able to upload 2 videos per day, maybe even a new let's play, or a, well, may call it expanded spotlights. Alright, so let's go for the extremist politics, and then let's also get here power and politics. Power and politics, so the CPGB will become the leading force. Unfortunately, after we make global socialism, the Irish Free State will actually get Northern Ireland, which I can't understand, since why would the UK give up Northern Ireland with their factories to the Irish Free State? And I mean, they are democratic. I don't think a democratic nation would be willingly, a communist nation would willingly give up any province to a democratic nation. So, well, I can't agree with that view of world communism as the union of Britain in that case. So, we're gonna pick, of course, the left-wing rhetoric. Left-wing rhetoric. Should the working class be truly liberated from the exploitation and oppression of the bourgeoisie and fascists alike, then we must strive for a socialist society. And national spirit, communist influence, which grants daily communism spot open 1%. Acceptance of communist diplomacy plus 85. USSR leftist rhetoric for these nations that you can see. So technology research, let's get dispersed industry. I somehow always go for dispersed. Left-wing rhetoric, I'm also gonna get a communist advisor to speed up things. Yeah, to speed up the boost of the CPGB. CPGB. Yeah. Next, improving our offensive equipment. Yeah, Marxist synthesizers in government. There we go. Left-wing rhetoric. Okay, we have to wait. Therefore, I will go ahead and get the limited rearmament, which will grant us with 4 free extra factories. And let's get our destroyers queued in. Well, we are waiting after all, the GHI class. So, well, other nations, the only focus tree which has been changed is the British one in this mod, but the entire game has been augmented with the paternal autocratic nations leading. So I'm not sure if you're actually able to form a faction, and then if most of the paternal autocratic nations would join us. That's a thing which would have to be well tried out, because if so, that would be a really nice thing, to unite most of the paternal autocratic nations under your rule. So soon the battle of the Cable Street should happen, and then we will pick the communist path. You could either pick a mixed path, communist or fascist. Oh, what? Okay, I wanted to click this, but then event just came, but I clicked the correct thing, because scenes of violence and brutality were witnessed on Cable Street in London today, when a parade organized by the British Union of Fascists clashed with an Independence Labour Party counter-protest. The Metropolitan Police formed a wall in front of the Conquest blockade, preventing the march from advancing, while chants of "they shall not pass" could be heard from the counter-protesters behind them. The British public has been seen the act as a symbolic opposition to fascism, praising the communists. Fascism has no place in our streets, and they shall not pass. They shall not pass. It is our duty to halt the rising tide of fascism by any means necessary, even if it means that we must take to the streets in arms. Against Harry Potter, which grants communist revolutionary. Oh, we got him already. So you can save the 150 political power while getting the communist revolutionary by this focus. So that's quite nice. I didn't know that, therefore don't do the mistake as I did and don't spend your political power to get the advisor. Like, if I would unhire him, we would get him. Let's see. We would get him, because that's a, well, part of the focus tree. And King Edward abdicates, well, we don't care. Since an end of the Spanish Civil War, and there you see we got the revolutionary. And we have to wait for the rise, therefore let's reinforce the empire in the meanwhile getting communist. So let's select actually industrial concern, there we go. And it's ahead of time, let's get better tax, British tax. Yeah, we have 81 factories. Germany is led by Adolf Hitler. The NSDAP. Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei. Yeah. Let's see. We may play like 35 minutes because I wanna get the main focuses as the communists done for the United Kingdom and see how our communist path will actually look like. Well, I can see we are able to choose between global socialism or the United Soviets. Oh, what we could annex, we could demand an annexation from Australia, Canada and New Zealand. That's interesting to say the least. So let's get the, well, shell scheme. Wanna go on, do the, let's get the shadow scheme then. Fine, alright. I'm gonna save up my political power. Well, the CPGP is rising really quick in terms of popularity. That is good. That is certainly a good thing. Let's get, well, the King George V class battleship dispersed industry we have. Then after 8 days. Well, our dominions and puppets probably don't like the fact of us turning towards communism, but we will make them turn communist as well. Yeah, we will enforce the communist path. There we go. The United Kingdom led by Stanley Baldwin. Oh, the humanity, come on. We are 42% communists. We have to wait, I think. Yeah, we have to wait and then we can abolish the monarchy when the referendum happens. Therefore, let's get the industrial effort in order to get the 6 factories down below there, which is a good amount after all. 6 factories, that's nice. Yep, so we are 44% communist and still 53% democratic. And there we go. He resigned, now the CPGB has 59%, soon 60% of popularity within the British Empire, well, within the United Kingdom, yeah. And the referendum is preferable, and there we go, we got communists, and an instant invitation from the USSR. Come in here, no, I won't join you. What did the Allies get? Well, oh yeah, we dissolved the Allies. Look to that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so you could join the Comintern here, but we are gonna go for the United Soviets. For the United Soviets. Yeah. Industrial efforts. So there we go. Let's get updated equipment. Matilda instead. Yeah. The Union of Britain. So, Communist Union of Britain. Look to that. Yeah, we will go for direct British annexation for the United Soviets, not for global socialism. I hope they will accept, because if they accept, we'll become such a strong nation with, well, the British Empire kind of restored, but the Empire, well, so we will have a union. Well, our system will be really similar to the system of the USSR, because the USSR is divided into, I think, 16 Soviet states. And we will be divided into 16 Union states then, into 5 Union states, like the South African Union State, the British Union State, etc., etc., etc. So all of these, which is, well, probably a nice thing. Oh, of course, the Japanese is going to war. What do I think they are? The Marines. So we're abolishing the monarchy, which will give us this action will deposit to the king, gains national spirit, young republic, which gains land of research time, national unity, ideology, kill, thrift defense, and Britain abolishes monarchy. The sight of the royal family being escorted out of Buckingham Palace was met with very mixed crowds today in London. While many were seen cheering their departure with red banners flying high, others were seen simply watching in silence. An era of over a millennium of monarchs has been brought to a short and swift ending, marking the beginning of a new era in British history. The legacy is that this new socialist regime has yet to be written into history. Down with the bourgeoisie, and let's get the United Soviets. If we are truly liberate all the workers and oppressed peoples of the world, then we will first need a unitary social state. If we remain weak and divided, then the fascists will kill us like fish in a barrel. Well, that is a nice argumentation in order to get to get Australia and the other nations into our commands of the British Union. Rajani Pandats will restore the United Soviets, and I will get war economy running in our country. Let's see how our factories will skyrocket then. Probably we won't be able to support the Commonwealth. I think, well, I mean, they would be under our command. Therefore, yeah. No factories for them, it would mean. So, I think I will stop the spotlight after the United Soviets, because we saw the, well, main changes of the path. We could gain an ex-war against France and Ireland. We could join the Comintern, and we could do a research treaty with the Union, and there we go. They didn't accept what every nation rejected the ultimatum. Oh, so that's not a nice thing. So everyone rejected the ultimatum, making them actually leaving the Commonwealth. So then I would suggest you to go for the global socialism instead. Yeah, I would suggest you to do so, because they left your faction, rendering you alone there. So actually, I'll stop the spotlight here. So thank you all for watching me. Go sure to check out the mod description. Link is as always down below in the description. Go sure to check out the mod. Link is as always down below in the description. Thank you for watching me, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.